All right, Larry Krueger here at Levi's after the 49ers smoke the Cowboys. Man, it's 42-10. 2 minutes and 42 seconds left in the second quarter, but it has been all Niners. All Niners. We're going to take your phone calls. We're going to have a little post-game show. I'm going to go into the locker room, talk to some of the key participants, and then we'll bring it upstairs and do a little post-game show with Kev and JD and Baller and Damon and Danny and Rye, and everybody will be in the house. Niners got going on the first drive. It was a 7-play, 75-yard drive. Purdy hit Kittle on a 19-yard pitch and catch to make it 7-0. Niners brought six-man pressure. Wilkes brought six-man pressure on Dallas's first series on 3rd and 9, and that forced a punt. So the Niners would get it right back. But the Niners couldn't do anything with it on that second possession as Hankins got a big tip, and the Niners were forced to punt. So it was a 7-0 game going to the second quarter. The 49ers would have a long drive, but ultimately they were forced to punt on 4th and 20, and they downed it. Ronnie Bell downed it at the 5-yard line. So then Dallas takes over first play on their own 5 in the late first quarter, and Pollard runs left, and Fred Warner popped it loose. Kevin Givens jumped on it. Huge play. Dallas challenged, but they lost the challenge. So the Niners got the ball. They're 1st and 10 on the 16-yard line, but then 2 plays later, CMC runs middle, and he fumbles, and Jordan Lewis just picked it from him. Fumble by CMC, and so that scoring drive was thwarted. But then on the Dallas's next drive, Fred Warner, early second quarter, got a sack of Prescott. Kinlaw was in there as well. That forced a punt. And then the Niners would take over on the Dallas 38, and the very first play, Shanahan dials up the flea flicker. It was CMC to Debo, flipped it back to Purdy, who found Kittle for a 38-yard touchdown. 1-play drive, 38 yards in 10 seconds, and 14-0 49ers. So it looked like it was going to be a blowout at that point. But then Dallas would put together a nice little drive on their 5th possession, taking it from their own 22. Eventually, Prescott found Turpin, who beat Isaiah Oliver for a 26-yard touchdown to cap an 11-play, 78-yard drive in a little bit over 5.5 minutes. That made it 14-7. So it was 14-7 at that point. Anybody's ball game late second quarter. And then the Niners get it on the next drive and move it down the field. And on 2nd and goal, CMC went in from 1 yard out to make it 21-7. 14th straight game that CMC had a touchdown. 9-play, 75-yard drive in 5 minutes to make it 21-7 49ers. Oliver would make a big play on the 3rd and 5 on Dallas's next drive to force Dallas to punt. 49ers would get it back before the half. They couldn't score. Dre Greenlaw had a key sack on Dallas's last possession before halftime. So going into the locker room, it was 21-7 49ers. There was a Drake Jackson play where it looked like maybe he was shaken up, but he came back in the second half and played. First half, Purdy 9 of 15, 133 yards. McCaffrey, 13 carries for 35 yards, 2 touchdowns, and the 1 fumble. Kittle had 2 touchdowns in the first half. Fred Warner, 6 tackles and a sack. Dre Greenlaw, 4 tackles and a sack. And when you look at those numbers at halftime, Niners had 212 yards to 93 for Dallas. They outrushed Dallas, 81-21. They had 14 first downs in the first half, only 4 for Dallas. Niners won the time of possession in the first half, 18-33 to 11-27. So Dallas would get it on their first possession to start the third quarter, and Aubrey would make a 50-yard field goal to cap a 6-play drive in 39 yards to make it 21-10. That's as close as Dallas got. Niners on the next possession drove down the field, 7 plays, 75-yard drive. Purdy found Kittle, and that took this game and just put it out of reach at that point. That made it 28-10. Then there was an interception by Tayshaun Gibson, gave the Niners possession again. They would move down the field on a 12-play, 62-yard drive. Purdy off the play-action pass found Juszczyk, beautiful pass, to make it 35-10. Then Fred Warner had an interception. Lenore tipped the ball on a ball that was going to Gallup. Lenore tipped it, picked by Fred Warner. Next play, J.P. Mason runs 26 yards for a touchdown to make it 42-10. So then Oren Burks got an interception. on Dallas's 11th possession. Now we're in the fourth quarter. Sam Darnold came in for Purdy, and the Niners stalled out, but Ronnie Bell then downed the ball at the 1 yard line. Purdy's final stats were 17 of 24, 252 yards, 4 touchdowns, and a 144.4 passer rating. And if you don't believe in him now, I got no hope. I got no hope for you. I really don't. Kevin Givens had a big sack late. The Niners have now won 15 in a row in the regular season. That equals the longest winning streak in the history of the franchise. So now we're here in the final, inside the 2-minute warning. It's 42-10 49ers. I told Lo Neal today on the 95.7 The Game pregame show that the Niners were going to win 30-7. So I'll take 42-10. I had 35-14 on the Krug show earlier this week. I didn't think it was going to be close, and it hasn't been close. Niners are going to roll to victory. There's 2 unbeaten teams, them and the Eagles. And bring on the next game. The 49ers are playing great. Purdy's playing great. They got a deep cache of weapons. They're really good in all 3 phases of the game. And what can you say? 49ers are playing really well right now. So clock's in under 2 minutes. 42-10 49ers is going to be the final. Join us on the post-game show on YouTube, on the Krug Show. And thanks to Pig and a Pickle for being the title sponsor of the Krug Show. Check them out in Emeryville and Corte Madera. They're open 7 days a week in both spots from 11 a.m. until 8 p.m. or until they run out. Pig and a Pickle, the best barbecue in all of Northern California. And thanks to all you guys for supporting the Krug Show on YouTube. Fun night, and the clock strikes 0, 42-10 49ers.